Every miraculous truth is prophesied to manifest once you feel it's divinely confirmed. In the heart of a quaint English village nestled among the rolling green hills of the Cotswolds, there lived a devoted mother named Anna. Her life danced in rhythm with the gentle echoes of prayer, every word shaped by her unwavering faith in the divine. The light filtering through the stained glass windows of the village church told stories of love, sacrifice, and hope, saturating the air with a sacred presence that held the community together. At the center of Anna's heart was the spirit of St. Jude, her beloved patron saint who illuminated the darkest paths with seeds of hope. But one dreadful day, that hope was tested. Anna's young daughter fell gravely ill, suffering from a rare condition that left the best doctors grasping for answers, as if snatched by a tempest. Panic spread like wildfire in the village, as Anna clutched her rosary tightly, lighting candle after candle, each flickering flame a plea for divine intervention. Whispers filled the air, not of faith, but of doubt. Could Anna's devotion endure such despair? After all she had done, was God still good? Yet Anna, with faith rooted deep in her soul, held steadfast. One afternoon, while rummaging through the dusty, creaky old archives of the church, an ancient manuscript revealed itself to her. It spoke of healing prophecies, promises bestowed upon those who believe without falter. The words pulsed with an energy that resonated within her, filling her with undeniable excitement. She rushed to her prayer group, urging them to gather and share in this newfound hope, invigorating spirits that had waned under the heavy cloak of doubt. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But as words spread throughout the village, the atmosphere thickened with skepticism. Some members of her own prayer circle turned their backs, skeptical of Anna's fervor. What evidence do we have? Can faith spark healing when medicine has failed? They questioned. These words pierced Anna's heart, yet her faith brimmed bright in the shadow of doubt. In the midst of a dramatic prayer vigil, hope hung in the air like a fragile thread. The church swelled with heartfelt cries as the storm outside roared. Thunder clapped like the hand of God and ominous clouds gathered above, darkening the sanctuary. Just as the tension reached its height, a flash of lightning struck nearby, illuminating the church like a divine spotlight. And then, amidst the chaos, a miracle. Anna's daughter, once frail and pale, stirred vibrant, alive. Gasps filled the air as a joyous cry erupted, shaking the very foundations of their doubt. It's a sign! A miracle! They exclaimed, their hearts reignited with hope. The spirit of the village transformed that night, weaving a tapestry of faith stronger than the fiercest storm. Yet, as Anna embraced her role as a beacon of hope, new questions lingered. What does it mean to believe? What path lay ahead for her and her community as whispers threatened to return? Standing at the crossroads of faith and fear, Anna wondered what sacred truth awaited just beyond the veil of uncertainty. With the dawn breaking over the village, Anna felt a warmth in her heart. The sun's rays streamed through the church windows, illuminating the faces of those gathered in gratitude. Whispers of awe replaced the doubt that had once clouded their faith. Each person in attendance bore witness to the miracle that had unraveled the night before. It painted a tapestry of renewed belief. Yet, even amid such joy, shadows of uncertainty flickered around Anna's heart. The village, now vibrant with thanks and praise, also buzzed with lingering questions. How could such a miracle manifest in the face of overwhelming doubt? The fabric of faith had been woven tighter. But where would this newfound strength lead? As the villagers shared stories of their long-held prayers, Anna felt a divine nudge, the presence of St. Jude stirring within her. It was as if he had answered her silent longings in the softest of whispers. Take the next step, the words wove through her soul, urging her to motion, to act upon her belief. Later that morning, she ventured to the small gathering of villagers behind the church. They took part in planting seeds in the garden, eager to welcome spring. With each seed dropped into the earth, Anna sensed it was not just flowers they were planting, it was a testament of faith taking root. Her heart swelled as she joined her neighbors, celebrating life's simple acts as whispers of divine providence. But soon, one of her closest friends, Mary, approached Anna with tears in her eyes. "Anna," she began, her voice trembling, "my sister has also fallen ill, and the doctors say there's little hope. How can you preach faith when I feel so hopeless?" Anna's heart ached for her friend. She took Mary's hand, feeling the warmth of connection. "I know what you're feeling," Anna said softly. "But remember, faith is like the seeds we've just planted. It takes time to see blossoms. Let us pray together. Let us believe for your sister." As they knelt together, the community surrounding them joined in prayer. The air felt electric with anticipation. With each word spoken, Anna envisioned petals opening, lives being transformed, and an unseen tapestry of miracles growing. "Lord," she prayed, "grant us the faith to believe in your power to heal." Moments turned into hours, and the village spoke of Anna's commitment. Many joined her in a new prayer initiative, inspired to gather weekly, sharing stories, songs, and prayers. Slowly, doubt began to fade, faith was being rekindled, like embers igniting into flames. But as any gardener knows, growth comes with its own challenges. Whispers of skepticism brewed once more among those who had turned away. Did Anna truly do this? Can these prayers even bring about change? There were a sharp breeze against the gentle spring day, testing the strength of the new faith blooming. In a revelation one evening, Anna accepted the truth: faith isn't always easily grasped, it must be nurtured. What lay ahead would demand courage to remain steadfast and the willingness to face any storm that might try to shake their newfound beliefs. One evening, as she sat under the stars, she felt compelled to act, to show the world the power of collective faith. What if she organized a healing service? Would it not serve as a beacon of hope? But doubts crept in once more, shadows whispering caution. Would she step forward, drawing upon God's promise? As the light of the moon bathed the village in silver, Anna felt within her the pulse of something profound. Is this the truth that is to be revealed? She thought, trembling at the thought of what lay ahead. What miracles would unfold next, as her journey to faith deepened and widened? Would they face the flames of doubt once again? Every lingering doubt seemed to hang in the air like heavy mist as Anna faced the dawning of a new day, one filled with possibilities and the whisper of God's plan. She stood at the edge of the village, the wind tousling her hair, a gentle breeze that felt like a promise. With each breath, she inhaled hope and exhaled fear. The moon's silver light still lingered in the morning sky, casting a soft glow that inspired her heart to push forward. Determined, Anna gathered the villagers for a meeting at the church that evening. "Friends," she began, her voice steady, yet laced with an urgency, "we have witnessed a miracle. The faith that has been rekindled is powerful, but I feel called to take a step further. We must gather together for a healing service. We can invite those in need to come and experience the power of prayer among us." A mixture of excitement and apprehension danced across the villagers' faces. Some exchanged glances, their eyes questioning. "What if nothing happens?" one whispered. But others echoed her fervor, nodding in agreement. "Let us be vessels of the Lord's goodness," another exclaimed, his voice rising with enthusiasm. In the days leading to the service, Anna worked tirelessly, her heart set on creating an atmosphere of love and hope. She gave flyers, spoke at gatherings, and prayed fervently. She envisioned lines of people, each one clutching their burdens, hoping for a touch of grace. Yet the shadows of self-doubt still lingered. Would her faith be enough? Could she harness the power of prayer to heal? The evening of the service arrived, the air humming with anticipation. Lanterns flickered like stars suspended in the darkness, illuminating the pathways toward the church. Anna stepped inside, her heart racing. The pews filled with familiar faces, some beaming, others weary with expectation. As night enveloped the village, the gathering became a sacred space. Voices mingled in song, lifting their hearts together. Anna felt the gentle nudge of the Holy Spirit urging her to lead. "Let us come together in prayer," she said, her voice calming yet filled with passion. The congregation knelt, side by side, a tapestry of souls woven in unity. Anna began with a heartfelt plea, "Lord, we stand together, bringing forth our hopes and fears. We know with you, nothing is impossible. Please touch the lives of those suffering among us." As prayers rose like incense, a palpable tension filled the air, wrapping around them like a cloak. Anna felt an inexplicable energy, something divine was stirring. Suddenly, a voice broke through the silence, a woman in the back. "My son is sick. Pray for him." Her eyes glistened with tears, desperation etched on her face. Without hesitation, Anna stepped toward her, encouraging others to follow. The villagers encircled the woman, their prayerful energy converging. Anna placed her hands gently on the woman's shoulders, feeling a surge of warmth flow through her. "In the name of Jesus, we ask for healing," she said, her heart pounding, each word resonating deep within her spirit. As they prayed, a wave of faith flooded the room, rolling like ocean tides. Anna could feel it, an undeniable presence of peace washing over them. Every soul grasping for hope seemed to vibrate with expectation. Would healing occur? Would their faith bend the laws of nature? The whispers of doubt began to fade, replaced by a growing silence. Suddenly, Anna caught sight of the woman's eyes sparkling with recognition. "He's going to be okay, I feel it, I believe," she exclaimed, lifting her hands to the heavens. But before joy could fully take hold, Anna sensed a challenge lurking in the shadows. What would happen if they didn't see the miracles they longed for? Doubts threatened, creeping back into her heart. She knew the path of faith often demanded unwavering belief amidst the unknown. As the service came to a close, and the last notes of worship faded into the night, Anna stood at the church door, watching the villagers depart. There was a new light in their steps, yet the tension remained, a divine question lingering in the atmosphere. What will we discover as we continue to seek Him? She pondered, yearning to know how far faith would take them, and what manifestations awaited. The days that followed the service were woven with an air of expectancy. Anna felt a tangible shift in the village. People moved with purpose, each step infused with a sense of adventure in their faith. New conversations flickered like candles in the dark, igniting hope in hearts that had long been weary. As the morning sun painted the sky with hues of gold, Anna found herself drawn to the old oak tree by the river's edge. This sacred spot had been a refuge for her in past uncertainties. She crossed the soft grass, feeling the cool earth beneath her feet, a reminder of God's creation and the miracles that danced within nature. She settled down, leaning against the sturdy trunk, and closed her eyes. The sound of water flowing gently intertwined with the harmony of birds singing in the distance. "Lord," she whispered, "I sense you moving among us. But I still carry doubts. How do I lead others toward you when I falter in my faith?" The breeze rustled the leaves above, and for a moment, Anna believed she heard an answer in the whispers of nature. An image began to unfold in her mind of the villagers coming together, their hearts united in a common purpose, a tapestry intricately stitched by faith. It was as if God was revealing that true miracles often blossom in the community's shared pursuit. Encouraged, she rushed back to the village, gathering those who had come forward in prayer at the service. She proposed a plan: let us share our stories. Each of us has faced trials, but together we have experienced His goodness. Let us document our journeys of healing and faith, no matter how small. We will gather next week to share what we have witnessed. The villagers embraced the idea, their faces blooming with excitement. Over the following days, testimonies poured forth like refreshing rain. Stories of hope, breakthrough, and even unanswered prayers began to fill the air, each one a thread that wove them closer. As evening approached on the day of sharing, Anna's heart raced with anticipation. Families filled the little church once again, voices mingling in joyous reunion. The scent of freshly baked bread and brewed tea lingered in the air, binding them as they gathered in circles, swapping stories with laughter and tears. When the time came for Anna to speak, she stood before them, the combined warmth of their presence igniting her spirit. Each testimony is a promise, a glimpse of His faithfulness. We may not always understand our paths, but God is the artist of our lives, painting beauty through it all. Just as the last echo of her words faded, a man stepped forward, trembling with emotion. "I've struggled for years with a heavy heart," he confessed, his voice thick with vulnerability. "But I felt hope when I prayed that night. I began to see the light again." My son spoke his first word after being silent for so long. The congregation erupted into applause, tears mingling with shouts of joy. The atmosphere crackled with divine energy, each revelation igniting assurance and wonder. As more stories unfolded, Anna felt a profound sense of unity, the invisible threads of faith binding them undeniably. But as she observed this sacred joy, Anna felt something stirring deep within, an awareness that while the testimonies were powerful, they were also just the beginning. She sensed an impending invitation to step further into the unknown and trust in the miracles yet to unfold. Where is this journey leading us? Anna mused, gazing at her friends, their faces alight with hope. What awaited them in this collective journey of faith, and could they truly uncover the purpose for which they had been called? A flutter of excitement mingled with apprehension, but she embraced it. The next chapter beckoned, and she could not wait to see how God would reveal himself next. As the candlelight flickered softly, illuminating the faces of those gathered, Anna felt a stirring in her spirit. The room buzzed with a holy energy, and it was clear that something profound was about to unfold. She had invited her friends to share their lives, but perhaps God was inviting them to something greater, a collective awakening to his presence among them. "The importance of our stories cannot be understated," Anna began, her voice steady yet filled with unshakable excitement. "They are threads in his tapestry, moments where heaven meets earth. As we share, let us expect God to move even more among us." One after another, voices arose, each story rising like incense to the heavens. The woman with the gentle smile spoke of a long-held dream that seemed impossible. "For years I doubted my worth," she said, glancing around at her friends. "But in the stillness of prayer, God whispered that I was capable of much more than I believed. I have taken steps to pursue my passion, and now I see the beauty of his plans unfolding." Her eyes sparkled with delight. As shared stories spilled forth, they ignited a hunger among the listeners. This was no longer about individual trials, but a collective awakening. Little children tugged at their parents' sleeves, eyes wide with wonder, absorbing the testimonies that revealed faith in action. Then an elderly man, whose hands trembled with age yet held a strength of spirit, stood to speak. "I've faced loss time and again," he expressed, his voice trembling with emotion. "But through every tear, God has been by my side. He has shown me that even in grief, there is always a reason to rejoice, memories that bind us together, and a future filled with hope, beyond this life." His words echoed, eliciting nods and murmurs of agreement from those closest. With every revelation, Anna saw the power of vulnerability playing out before her. God was knitting hearts together, creating a sense of family that spoke of his love and divinity. The night grew deeper, yet warmth enveloped them, a tangible reminder of his presence. As the stories flowed, a woman who had remained quiet until now rose slowly. Her countenance was serious, and she looked around the room, as if searching for courage. "I've felt a longing," she admitted, her voice cracking. "A desire to share a gift, a vision he placed in my heart. But fear held me back. Tonight, hearing all of you, it's like his light has broken through that fear. I can't hold back anymore. I want to paint." A hush fell over the gathering, and it felt as if everyone held their breaths, waiting for the spark of revelation that would come next. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and a figure appeared at the entrance. It was Eli, a man known in the village for his skepticism. He had often voiced doubt during church gatherings. The atmosphere hummed with a mix of surprise and tension as he stepped forward. "I have seen the change in you all," the confidence blooming. "I cannot deny it anymore. I've been distant, and I want to understand more. I want to know this God you speak of." Gasps of astonishment rippled through the room. Anna's heart raced, the potential of this moment electrifying. Here was Eli, a man of doubt, now seeking understanding. Divine curiosity filled the air. As Anna looked around, she saw the community inching closer together, ready to embrace Eli with open arms. But she also sensed deeper truths stirring beneath the surface. What would this earnest seeker find in their midst? Could his journey spark further divine encounters? Do we have the courage to open our hearts and share the fullness of our faith? Anna asked, her voice steady yet hopeful. What if this is just the beginning? For every miracle we have noticed, countless more await us. And just as the room filled with murmurs of agreement and anticipation, Anna felt the weight of something significant hanging in the balance. When Eli took the first step closer, could it be the turning point for both him and the village? What divine mysteries awaited them on this journey of faith that was unfolding before their eyes? The promise of more was a whisper in the air, echoing in each faithful heart. Eli took a tentative step forward, his brow furrowed but his eyes alight with curiosity. The flickering candlelight danced around him, casting shadows that seemed to play on his face. The room held its breath, the air crackling with the weight of expectation. Anna felt her heart swell with compassion for him. It was a brave thing to seek understanding in a space so charged with faith. Eli, she said, her voice gentle yet firm, you're welcome here. Your search for truth is a beautiful beginning. What has kept you from believing? The other members of the gathering leaned in closer, their faces a mix of hope and concern. Eli shifted, the tension in his shoulders easing as he realized they were not here to judge him, but to embrace him on this journey. I've seen too much, he admitted, his voice low. I've watched people claim to have faith, but when trials come, they falter. How can I trust in something I can't see? It just feels too improbable. Anna nodded, acknowledging his struggles with respect. That's the point, isn't it? Faith is often born from uncertainty. It's not about seeing but trusting. We share our stories tonight to remind ourselves and each other that God is faithful, even when the path seems unclear. A murmur of agreement swept across the room, a tidal wave of understanding washing over Eli. His eyes flickered over the faces of those who had shared their own struggles and triumphs. This wasn't just a collection of anecdotes. It was life, a testament to unyielding grace and love. I've witnessed miracles that I could never explain, a young man offered, his voice steady. There was a time I thought I had lost everything: job, family, hope. But in my darkest moments, God reached out. I didn't deserve it, but His hand lifted me. When you've been broken and then healed, it marks you forever. Anna saw Eli's brow rise, a spark igniting in his eyes. You really felt a presence? Like a protection? Yes. Another woman chimed in, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. In a similar time of despair, I felt completely alone. But it was in worship, in the moments when I lost myself in prayer, that I truly got to know Him. My burdens lifted in ways I couldn't put into words. It was like coming home. Anna smiled. The testimonies flowed like a river, each story nurturing a landscape of hope and faith in the hearts of her friends. Each response encouraged Eli to take a step deeper into this circle of shared vulnerability. As stories unfolded, Anna began to pray silently for Eli. She asked God to open his heart, to reveal the beauty of His truth. She sensed that this moment was not just about Eli. It was a pivotal moment for their entire village. The world is filled with doubts, Eli voiced again, a mask of introspection covering his face. How do you really know it's him? The silence was palpable. Each person exchanged glances, hearts beating, as if waiting for the Spirit to say something through them. It was Anna's moment to share her own story. Eli, when I was lost, much like you, I turned to the Lord in desperation. I asked Him to show me a sign, to let me know He was real. In that moment, I felt an overwhelming wave of peace, flooding my heart like a gentle tide. I can't explain it, but in that quiet whisper, He confirmed to me that I was loved and never alone. He looked deep into her eyes. And that's enough for you? It's enough, because I felt it in my soul. When the world tries to pull me in its currents, I return to that moment, the memory of His presence, and I remember, faith is a journey, Eli, not a destination. Something shifted in Eli's demeanor. His posture subtly relaxed, an inkling of understanding beginning to dawn in the depths of his spirit. What's next then? He asked quietly, as if daring to believe that there was more. Anna felt the energy in the room shift to divine stirring. Perhaps it begins with prayer, Eli. Together, let us ask Him to reveal Himself to you more clearly. Are you willing? Nods erupted around the group, enthusiasm building. Eli looked around, awe-inspiring warmth rising in the room as faces shone with anticipation. As Anna held her hands out to Eli, something in the atmosphere felt charged. They were on the brink of a new chapter, one steeped in prayer and expectancy. The flickering candles cast shadows, but in that moment, hearts were illuminated with hope. Come, let us take this step together, Anna urged, her heart racing with the sacred weight of the moment. What revelations awaited them as they dared to dive deeper into this divine mystery? How would Eli emerge from this communion of faith and vulnerability? A shift was upon them, and the journey was just beginning. Eli hesitated for a brief moment, the weight of the room pressing around him like a warm embrace. He looked at the hands Anna extended, inviting, gentle hands that seemed to carry the promise of something profound. All eyes were on him, their hope and expectation wrapping around him like a cloak. Taking a deep breath, he finally nodded. Yes, I'm willing. Let us pray. His voice trembled slightly, but there was a resolve bubbling beneath the surface. As they gathered in a circle, Anna led the way, her voice soft yet powerful. Dear God, we come to you as seekers, as those yearning to know your truth. We lift up Eli, asking for clarity and a touch of your presence. May he feel you, Lord, in ways he can grasp. Her words washed over Eli, a soothing balm to his restless heart. The other members quietly echoed her sentiments, their hearts in unison. Each amen echoed like a heartbeat, a rhythm of faith intertwining with Eli's own uncertainties. For a moment there was stillness. The flickering flames danced, and the room seemed to expand, pulling them into a sacred space where the divine could minister. Eli closed his eyes, seeking the warmth he had heard about, the overwhelming peace that Anna spoke of. The quiet moments held a promise, a rhythm of hope. I want to feel, he whispered under his breath, a humble plea for assurance, a jump of faith into the unknown. Then, a gentle breeze stirred the air, seeming to flow through the cracks of the old wooden cabin. It was as though invisible hands were caressing their spirits, urging doubt away. Eli felt a warmth begin to envelop him, like a soft blanket wrapped around his shoulders. Suddenly, amidst the palpable silence, his heart surged. I feel something, he breathed, almost in disbelief. Prayers surged forth like a bursting river. What is it, Eli? One woman asked eagerly, her eyes bright with excitement. It's like a weight is lifting. I feel light. Almost as if someone is with me. His voice grew stronger as he spoke, sharing the awakening happening deep within. The room erupted in soft gasps of wonder, encouragement pouring forth. Anna's heart swelled. She had prayed for this moment. That's the Holy Spirit, Eli. He is with you, guiding you to peace. Eli opened his eyes wide, trying to grasp the experience. His fingers tingled with energy, and the faces around him glowed with an affirmation he had never felt before. I thought I had come here to question, he said, his voice now steady, but I see it isn't just questions that matter. It's this feeling of connection. Exactly. A man chimed in. God is inviting you into a relationship, deeper than just understanding. It's about feeling His love and trusting His goodness. Tears brimmed in Eli's eyes as he allowed the truth to settle in his heart, the reality of God's embrace. In that moment, he saw the faces of those around him reflected in the light of their shared experience. It was a sacred communion, a family bound not by blood but by a greater truth. The energy in the room was electric, alive with joy and gratitude. Prayers of thanksgiving erupted spontaneously, voices rising in a cheerful chorus. Eli found himself closing his eyes again, feeling the surge of warmth tighten his chest. Lord, Eli joined in, his heart open wide. I want to know you more. I don't want to hold back anymore. I want to experience your love more fully. What a beautiful prayer! Anna exclaimed, her spirit lifted in joy. And you know what? Every bit of faith you show is no longer misplaced. It's the very foundation where God works, right where you are. Eli smiled, a glimmer sparkled in the depths of his eyes. In that moment, he could feel the shift. It was the dawning of understanding, like light breaking through a fog. All around him, the shared excitement buzzed, But Eli was focused inward, a fire igniting in his spirit. He realized this was more than just a moment. It was a stepping stone into a journey that had been waiting to unfurl all along. But what fresh insights awaited them as this newfound energy pulsed through their gathering? Little by little, God was revealing his plans. What divine surprises would Eli discover when he fully embraced the journey ahead? The heart of their faith was only just beginning to reveal itself. As the prayers flowed, Eli felt lighter than air. The buzz of excitement wrapped around him like a warm cloak, soothing and invigorating. He opened his eyes once more, taking in the radiant faces of his newfound family. Each smile showed the joy of shared belief, a heart's echo of the truth they were all experiencing together. God has plans for you, Eli, Anna said, her eyes sparkling. As you step forward, He will show you more of who you are meant to be. Each moment here is a building block in your journey. Eli nodded, the thrill of anticipation pulsing through him. He felt it deep in his bones, a call to action, a divine nudge. But what does that look like? He asked. How do I know what steps to take? Sometimes, it's about simply moving forward in faith, even when the path isn't clear, a gentle voice chimed in from the corner. It was Jacob, a kind man with deep-set eyes that held many stories. Trust in his timing. God often reveals his plans one step at a time. Eli's heart quickened. He could hardly wrap his mind around such an endless possibility. But what if I stumble? He questioned, uncertainty creeping back into his spirit. Stumbling isn't failure, my friend, Anna reassured him. It's how we learn and grow. Just like a child who learns to walk. The joy is in the journey, not just reaching the destination. The warmth in Eli's chest swelled as he considered her words. No failure? Just steps taken? It felt liberating. Eli, look at it this way. Jacob leaned forward. Each of us has a part to play in this beautiful orchestration of faith. You've already taken the first step by being here tonight, willing to open your heart. God will guide you. With each word, Eli felt the weight lift further, confidence blooming where fear once thrived. The flickering candlelight reflected the glimmer of hope in his heart. The room, once a place of uncertain questions, now felt like a sanctuary of both challenge and love. Let us not forget, Anna added with a smile, that we are all on a spectrum of discovery. God is revealing himself uniquely to each of us. These moments we share plant seeds in our souls, and he will make them grow in ways we might not expect. The atmosphere hummed, charged with possibility. Eli could visualize it, individual spirits intertwining, creating a tapestry of hope, faith, and shared experience. What was God weaving together in this very gathering? As Eli grasped that thought, he felt a tug in his heart. What do you all think I should focus on in my journey? He asked eagerly. Anna glanced at everyone before responding. Pray about it. Ask God to give you specific desires and passions. He often reveals to us the next steps in our quiet moments of communion with him. Eli breathed in deeply, the essence of faith dancing around him. God, lead me to what you want me to pursue, he whispered softly, reflecting on the sweet weight of surrender. Everyone joined Eli in a newfound prayer, their voices intertwining, a chorus of faith rising and falling like gentle waves upon the shore. Eli soaked in the sound, recognizing it as something profoundly sacred, like seeds of destiny being planted in the soil of his heart. Suddenly, a song broke forth from one of the members. It was soft and melodious, the lyrics celebrating God's faithfulness, a vibrant tapestry woven from stories of hope. Feeling that joyous tide wash over him, Eli realized he was no longer acting merely as an audience member in this faith journey. He was a part of the unfolding story. But as the song drifted into the night, a question lingered in the back of his mind. What would happen next? What challenges would he face as he ventured deeper into this unfamiliar terrain? Eli's spirit fluttered, unsure yet expectant. One thing was clear: answers awaited, and every step promised to reveal profound truths about himself, about God, and about love. What paths of discovery lay ahead as they ventured deeper into faith? How would Eli choose to navigate this extraordinary journey? As the night deepened, a serene hush enveloped the room. The echoes of prayer lingered in the air, creating a blanket of peace that wrapped around Eli and his companions. He closed his eyes again, mentally returning to the prayer he had just uttered. God, lead me. Each silent moment that followed felt heavy with expectation, as if the very air was thick with divine possibility. Jacob, sensing the shift in the atmosphere, broke the silence. Eli, have you ever heard the phrase, the still small voice? His tone was gentle, infused with an understanding that only came from experience. Eli shook his head. No, I haven't. What does it mean? It means that God often speaks to us not in thunder or chaos, but in moments of quiet stillness, Anna chimed in, her eyes soft and inviting. That's where you'll sometimes find the answers you seek. Eli leaned forward, captivated by their words. So, in the silence, I might hear him? Exactly, Jacob replied. Just like that first spark of light that guides you when you're lost. It may not be a grand revelation, but often just a nudge in your spirit. The honesty in their voices lifted Eli's spirits higher. This was not an obligatory lesson, but an invitation to intimacy with the divine. Suddenly, an idea blossomed within him. What if prayer was just about requests or answers, but also about simply being present with God? In that stillness, Eli began to envision pathways branching out in every direction. Each represented a choice, a potential pursuit guided by his heart's whisper. But how do I know which way to go? He asked, a trace of worry surfacing once more. Anna took a moment before responding, her wisdom evident. Consider what ignites your passion. What stirs your heart? These desires are often divinely sown. When you find out what fuels your spirit, it becomes clearer which direction to follow. The warmth in Eli's chest soared as he thought about the passions he had buried under layers of doubt. Could these aspirations actually connect him to God's purpose? The more he pondered this, the more confident he felt. Witnessing Eli's transformation, Jacob smiled knowingly. You are not alone in this, Eli. We are all seeking, and our discoveries are intertwined. Share your dreams with us, and together we will pray for guidance. Eli looked around the room at each encouraging face. He was indeed part of something greater. He felt the pull to share, to explore the whispers of his heart. I've always been drawn to helping others, maybe in ways like mentorship or community outreach, he revealed, his voice trembling with excitement. Then pray into that, Anna urged, her enthusiasm infectious. Ask God how that could evolve in your life. He may reveal opportunities you never imagined. The collective energy in the room pulsed with hopeful anticipation, hearts knit together by a single thread of devotion. Eli realized this was no mere gathering. It was a living tapestry, woven tightly by the hands of God. As they continued to share and pray, Eli noticed a flickering light deep within him like a torch waiting to be lit. Amid the discussions and laughter, he felt the pulse of purpose mounting. What if this gathering was the beginning of something extraordinary? What if each of them was destined to embrace their calling? With that thought, a powerful longing rose within Eli, a desire to discover his own unique melody in this grand symphony of faith. It swelled like the dawn breaking over the horizon, a promise waiting to manifest. But what actions would he take to turn this longing into reality? Would he muster the courage to venture beyond familiar comforts into the unknown? Eli could feel it, a divine spark urging him forth. Each heartbeat seemed to reverberate with the call to step boldly into the next chapter of his life, confidence building like adrenaline. What challenges awaited him on the other side of this threshold? What would he need to overcome to embrace the life God had for him? With his heart racing and the promise of new beginnings filling the air, Eli braced himself for the journey ahead. The quest for his purpose was just beginning, and the unfolding mystery of God's plan stretched out before him like a vast, uncharted landscape. As Eli prepared to take his first step, one question lingered in the air: would he be ready to follow wherever God chose to lead him? In the days that followed, the village transformed like a field in spring, bursting with life and hope. Eli found himself surrounded by community, the laughter of children and the warm chatter of friends weaving a fabric of connectivity, strong enough to withstand any storm. He could feel the Spirit pulsing through him, urging him to explore the ideas that bounced like tender sprouts in his heart. Anna, glowing with joy, became Eli's guiding star. "Have faith, Eli. It's time to step into your calling," she would often say, her eyes sparkling with promise. Her encouragement was like a gentle push at his back, igniting a fire within him to nurture the dreams that had long lain dormant. As Eli wandered through the village, he noticed others beginning to explore their own callings too. Mary began an outreach program at the local school to uplift children struggling in their studies. The elderly man shared stories of faith and resilience with the youth, bridging gaps and planting wisdom. The village was awakening, and Eli felt it deep in his bones. They were knitting their strengths together, creating something beautiful. One afternoon, standing beneath the old oak tree by the river, Eli could feel the weight of expectation pressing down like a blessing. In moments of stillness, he had begun to hear the gentle whispers of God guiding him. "What shall I do next?" he prayed, seeking clarity. He closed his eyes, inhaling deeply, and suddenly he envisioned a community center blooming forth, a place of learning, healing, and connection, where hopes could flourish as freely as the flowers in spring. Eli opened his eyes with a gasp. "This is it," he declared to Anna beside him. "A community center. We can gather as a village for workshops and mentoring." His words tumbled forth, a cascade of possibility. Anna's face lit up with delight. "Yes, Eli. That's divine inspiration. You must share this vision with everyone." With renewed vigor, Eli organized a meeting at the church to unveil his dreams. The villagers gathered, intrigued, their faces glimmering with curiosity. Under the warm glow of candlelight, Eli stood before them, heart pounding but spirit soaring. "Together, we can create a place where we embrace our strengths," he proclaimed, enthusiasm igniting in his voice. "We will share skills, lift each other up, and grow stronger in faith and community." As his words poured out, excited murmurs rippled through the crowd. "We can teach gardening. We can host prayer meetings and share meals." Fellow villagers chimed in, their fears falling away like petals in the breeze. Eli could sense a movement forming in the hearts of the people, a willingness to act, to invest themselves in a shared dream. The meeting culminated in a powerful prayer circle, arms extended heavenward, hearts intertwined with one purpose, a wish to bring this vision to life. Eli felt an undeniable surge of faith, although some shades of doubt whispered at the edges of his certainty. "What if I fail?" asked the shadows in his mind. But as he stood shoulder to shoulder with his neighbors, he realized he was no longer alone. Together, they were bound by love and resilience, fortified by God's promise. As construction began, Eli witnessed miracles unfold. Volunteers rallied with shovels, sweat, and laughter. Old fears melted like frost under the sun as relationships flourished around their work. The heart of the village beat in perfect synchrony, as if every hand, every prayer, contributed to the destiny God was unfolding before them. Eli felt an overwhelming emotion swell within as the walls of the center began to rise. He recalled his earlier hesitation, thinking he could never contribute to something so grand. But now, he saw the beauty of community, the strength of collective faith, a microcosm of divine love that echoed through every corner of creation. On the day of the grand opening, the sun bathed the village in golden light as laughter filled the air. The center radiated hope and possibilities, its doors wide open to catch the gentle flow of divine blessings. Eli stood at the entrance, a mixture of pride and humility flooding his spirit. This was the moment that had awaited them all. As villagers arrived, stories flowed freely, tears mingled with laughter, and God's divine presence surrounded them like a soothing balm. Eli stepped onto a small stage, his heart buoyant. "This is just the beginning," he called out, his voice ringing with joy. "Let us continue to dream, support each other, and witness the miracles God has waiting for us as we walk this path together." As they joined hands in prayer, Eli felt the warmth of God's embrace settle over them. It was a moment of divine confirmation. There was no turning back. This was not merely a place of gathering, it was the birthplace of transformation, a manifestation of God's promises alive and resonating within their hearts. With each laugh, each tear, and each shared dream that day, Eli knew they had crossed the threshold together. The seeds of faith planted throughout their journey had sprouted into a testament of resilience and divine love. They would face trials ahead, but now empowered with the knowledge that together they could weather any storm, they were unstoppable. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting vibrant hues across the sky, Eli made a promise to himself and the village, to nurture this divine endeavor, to stand firm in faith, and to always look for ways to uplift and support those around him. And as stars began to twinkle above, a spiritual hush settled over the village, reminding them that infinite possibilities awaited just beyond the horizon, a promise of God's everlasting love to guide their way. Now, dear friends, this is the moment to show your support. If you felt the power of this story, you need to subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive faith stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and make sure others join our divine journey. Comment your reactions and testimonies about the ending. Let your voice be heard. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. Together, let us spread the miraculous truth of faith.